Hero's video blew you away, and I love making money, so I'm not gonna make you wait for the second part of the series where we expose the geniuses in fiction who actually survive because the script puts guardrails around them from every angle. And you already know how this works. We're not talking about characters who are canonically dumb. We're talking about the ones the story tries to sell you as super gifted, prodigies, little brainiacs, the pride of the village. But you stop and think for 2 seconds about what they do and you realize that if they have to pass a common sense test, they die on the first question. And in Naruto, the absolute king of that category is named Sasuke Uchiha. The guy the anime repeats to you 600 times is a prodigy, that he's a natural talent, that he's the best thing that ever happened to humanity, that he's the last Uchiha, this and that. And you watch him act and you wonder how the fuck Konoha didn't graduate him with a helmet and knee pads. Because the first thing you have to understand is this: Sasuke isn't weak. Sasuke has tools, techniques, reflexes. The problem isn't his power. The problem is that he makes decisions like his brain is busy rendering a dramatic pose. He lives convinced the world owes him automatic respect because of his last name. And when reality proves him wrong, instead of thinking, the dude goes into tantrum mode and launches himself into an even bigger stupidity to compensate. And that's how the marathon starts. The guy buys the story that he's the big deal, and that makes him incapable of accepting that he's still green. So when they send him on a serious mission and Dumbăss shows up, the cold and calculating genius becomes a statue. Yeah, Dumbăss is a monster, nobody denies it, but Sasuke gets sold as the one who thinks fast, the one who reads the enemy, the one who's always one step ahead. And the one who ends up solving the moment with the shuriken clone plan is Naruto, the supposed idiot of the class. Sasuke was basically ready to stand there and watch himself get killed if the other guy hadn't had an idea. And look, this matters because early on, it makes the pattern crystal clear. Sasuke looks tough against random people, but when someone serious shows up, his system shuts off. And instead of taking that experience as, okay, I need to learn, improve my fundamentals, be patient, Sasuke starts with the first big mental disease that defines him: the obsession with the shortcut. Sasuke doesn't train calmly. Sasuke trains like someone trying to get a cheat code, and you could see it in a detail that's pure gold. His life's goal is to kill Itachi, a genjutsu monster, the most dangerous guy on the planet in that department. And Sasuke reaches a point where he still hasn't put any real thought into genjutsu the way he should. Like your final goal is to beat the best illusionist alive, and you're out there acting like genjutsu is an optional elective. Then Orochimaru shows up, and here Sasuke proves for the first time his talent for walking into places where anyone with 2 neurons would say this is a bad fucking idea.
No thanks, bro.
In the force of death, Orochimaru marks him, breaks him, intimidates him, manipulates him, plants the perfect seed. I can give you power. And Sasuke, instead of taking that for what it is, a predator hunting a traumatized minor, sticks with the thought of, this helps me. From there, the guy starts seeing the world like a marketplace. What gives me more power fast?
I want more, and I know I shouldn't.
And when you live like that, you end up doing ridiculous things like this. He can't beat Gaara under controlled conditions, but in his head, he decides he's already ready to face Itachi. He literally goes from, I couldn't handle the sand kid, to I'm gonna take down the top one on the bingo book. His logic fell off a cliff. And the worst part is how he decides to confront him. Because the golden rule of a ninja is information, stealth, surprise, advantage. Sasuke wipes his ass with that rule and shows up like the queen of drama, yelling, announcing himself, throwing threats like he's on a stage. Then he makes the dumbest move in the fucking universe, attacking Itachi with a Chidori, like it's a magic key, when the guy who taught him Chidori ended up in a hospital because of Itachi. I mean, Sasuke sees the evidence with his own eyes and goes, yeah, I can still do it. And of course, Itachi humiliates him, puts him in his place, crushes him mentally. And you think that's where the fantasy finally dies down. But Sasuke doesn't learn like that. Sasuke learns like a bumper car learns, by getting hit, and sometimes not even then. The guy wakes up from the beating, and the first thing he does isn't to mature or reflect or say, okay, I'm lacking. Nah, the first thing he does is look for easy validation. So he starts belittling whoever and getting salty with Naruto like Naruto is the main problem in the fucking universe. There, you have him challenging him, provoking him, wanting to fight just to feel big again. Because Sasuke works exactly like the bully who feels small at home, he needs to take it out on someone nearby. And the funniest part is that by that point, Naruto was already leveling up, and Sasuke was still living off the story of, I'm the talented one. That frustration pushes him straight into the decision that turns him into the anime's official clown, leaving Konoha to go to Orochimaru. Not find a teacher, not train hard, not learn with the village Jonin. No, go with the guy who attacked his home, killed the Hokage, experiments on people, manipulates kids, collects bodies, and basically is a police siren with legs. And Sasuke justifies it with the same speech as always. I need power. And that's why you go with the most obvious criminal on earth. What a fucking brain. And the box coffin scene is the perfect summary of who Sasuke is when he lets that obsession drive. Some random sound guys show up, officially stuff him into a coffin, knock him out, and transport him like a package. And Sasuke gets in with zero questions. Not how long, not what does this do to me, not what if I died there, not why the fuck do I have to do it now. Nothing. Absolute trust in people he met 5 minutes ago because his priority isn't staying alive. His priority is feeling close to power. And when Naruto catches up and says Orochimaru wants to use you, Sasuke drops the cheap movie line, I don't care. Bro, if they steal your body, your mission is over. What, you're gonna kill Itachi from a keychain? Then in Shippuden, for a microsecond, it looks like Sasuke grew a neuron. He kills Orochimaru when he's weak and builds a team. And you're like, okay, he learned something. But no, because even knowing that at that moment he wasn't stronger than a healthy Orochimaru, and even knowing Itachi was above Orochimaru, he decides the master plan is the same when he was a teenager. Go fight Itachi alone, and use his team as a distraction for the side character.
Wow, incredible!
Like, he builds a team, but not to raise his odds, just so he can live his 1v1 duel fantasy like he's recording an AMV. Sasuke doesn't want to win. Sasuke wants to win pretty in his head. And then comes the confirmation that the issue wasn't lack of information, it was a lack of a functional brain. They reveal Itachi's truth, that he sacrificed himself to avoid a war, that he carried a curse to protect the village and protect Sasuke, that he did everything so that the world wouldn't collapse. And Sasuke decides the best way to honor him is to destroy Konoha.
Our mission is to destroy the hidden leaf.
That's not pain anymore. That's pure stupidity. It's like they tell you your brother burned alive to save this house. And you reply, okay, then I'll burn the whole fucking thing down. Where's the logic? There isn't any. Sasuke just needs a new target for his rage, and because his personality revolves around hate, when the context changes, he doesn't calm down. He just switches targets. So he makes a deal with Obito, and here comes another gem. Obito warns him clearly that Mangekyo will make him blind if he spams it like a maniac, and that the smart move is to implant Itachi's eyes to stabilize it. Sasuke answers like always, I don't need it.
I don't care.
And with that pride, he goes looking for Killer B with a Mangekyo he's barely learning to use, like he's ready to capture an experienced Jinchuriki. Result? Total humiliation. Killer B pierces him, wrecks him, treats him like a rag, and Sasuke literally survives because his team is there. If he were alone, that's where the prodigy ends. And to top it off, the dude doesn't even notice that what they take in the end isn't the real Jinchuriki. Because sure, you've got an eye that supposedly reads everything, but for basic stuff you still need to use your head. And that part didn't come installed. And Sasuke gets so obsessed with his drama that he ends up charging toward a leaf with nothing. No Biju, no weapon, no real plan. Basically, I'm gonna attack the most powerful village in the world with whatever I got got on me and faith. If it weren't for information and outside changes that hit him on the way and keep him from walking straight into a guaranteed death, Sasuke would have turned into dust before he could say Uchiha. And since Sasuke is addicted to raising the stakes when things go bad, he decides the next logical step is crashing the Kage summit. Because of course, if you almost died against one Jinchuriki, the smartest thing is to mess with several of the toughest ninjas on the planet. In a place full of escorts, guards, reinforcements with everyone ready to smash your face in, Sasuke walks in there like he's the final boss of the game, and reality gives him a lesson. They chase him, they wreck him, they leave him on the edge of dying again. And in the middle of that disaster, Sasuke allows himself one of the most miserable things he does, using his own people as tools, and, when things get messy, betraying without blinking. Karin is the perfect example. People who help him, heal him, back him up, and Sasuke treats her like a disposable object. Because his evolution as a villain wasn't getting smarter, it was getting colder and more selfish. Then the war arrives. Itachi's resurrection, the conversations that finally explained to him with crayons and stick figures that they'd already told him 1,000 times. And you'd think, okay, now he's gonna land. Itachi makes it clear what sacrifice is worth, makes it clear what it means to protect. And Sasuke has that pause where it looks like he's finally starting to understand that destroying out of rage is stupid. But Sasuke is Sasuke, so we can't finish the anime without his last circus act. They seal Kaguya after the world finally has a chance at peace. Sasuke decides his brilliant plan is to kill Kage, take control, be Hokage by force, and unify the world by becoming the common enemy. That plan only sounds deep if you don't think about it, because people hating you doesn't fix corruption, doesn't fix crime, doesn't fix discrimination, doesn't fix conspiracies. It just creates a dictatorship with philosophical perfume. And the most ridiculous part, Sasuke wants to run an entire world when he couldn't even run his own life without making the most impulsive decision possible every time he felt something. Naruto stops him with his fist because with Sasuke, pretty words don't work. And even when he finally realizes it and quote-unquote redeems himself, he still leaves you with that classic Sasuke aftertaste. The dude decides to wander off, disappear, ditch responsibilities, live in lone wolf mode. Like that's maturity and not just another way to avoid what the fuck he actually has to face.